up, YouTube? It's the One Drop Mantis review. Yeah! I did my unboxing of this bad boy maybe about a week ago almost now. Wow. Yeah, so I've had this for about a week, I think. And I gotta say, it is super fun and super duper different. So, anyway, let's get into the old specs here in just a sec. One thing I wanted to say while I'm getting into the specs here is I have participated in both blind box drops from One Drop. I do have a a marquee that gets a good bit of use, but I was really hoping kind of that the second blind box would use side effects. Clearly this does not use side effects. I was hoping it would have side effects, so that, even if you couldn't pick your color, you'd get to modify the yo-yo a little bit based on the side effects. But I pulled green, which is one of my favorite colors as far as One Drops go. Anyway, I have a lot of green One Drops, so it worked out for me anyway. But just a thought, in case you guys are watching, for the next blind box, maybe side effects. That might be cool. I think side effects cool, especially if they're unique side effects. Ideas. I got some ideas. Hit me up. But yeah, maybe the next one, let's think about some side effects. So, One Drop Mantis. See how I did that? That was good. That was a good transition. One Drop Mantis. So the weight of this bad boy is 66.5 grams. The width is 41.7 millimeters. A little bit narrow as far as, most modern yo-yos are concerned. Diameter is 55.6 millimeters, which is a pretty standard. 55 millimeter diameter is a really pretty standard diameter for modern yo-yos. Gap width 4.7 millimeters, and the bearing size is large C stainless steel 1 drop 10 ball bearing. Pure matte finish. This is a tapped axle system with a 12 millimeter axle, and it is made out of 70-75 aluminum or aluminium, depending on what part of the world you're from. But aluminum here in the United States, and I dig it. So let's talk about it a little bit. So this is pretty different and pretty fun for One Drop. One Drop, most of the stuff they've been doing, at least as of relatively lately, I think this is the only other release this year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Countach 5000 QV. I'm on One Drop's site. I could look, but I'd rather talk to you. One Drop has generally kind of been putting out wider yo-yos lately. Notice how wide the Countach is compared to this. But diameter is still similar, considering how much wider this is. So a little bit different than what One Drop's been putting out lately. This is wider than the marquee, but not by much. Diameter is certainly bigger than the marquee. But so this kind of plays like it's full size, but it's a little slimmer and a lot easier to carry around is probably the best way to put it. This is a good throw in your pocket and go out and do stuff yo-yo, because it's in your pocket. It's not real big. It's not gonna like feel like you've got this it's not gonna feel like you have this in your pocket. This is huge. This is not. So that's good. I mean, it's nice to have a variety of things. It's nice to have different stuff. The other thing I like about this is, it's that H shape that they keep talking about, but it's very much a V too. So it's like a HV hybrid type of shape. So you're still gonna get a pretty big catch zone, and also a pretty big diameter, pretty standard diameter. So it doesn't play like it's undersized. It plays pretty full size, but you still get you still kind of get the nice undersizedness of it, so that it's easy to carry around, which is cool and a great thing for One Drop to do, because it's a blind box. And then they know, everybody kind of wanted to jump on them and get them because it's a limited run. It's a nice thing for them to kind of put out something like, okay, you know what? I want it to play full size, but I also want you to be able to carry it around so that you can play with it wherever you go, and it doesn't feel like you just stuck a huge chunk of aluminum in your pocket. So kudos to them for this. So Let's talk about the weight distribution a little bit. The weight distribution, to me, feels pretty similar to, and this has different side effects in it, so it's not exactly, with the ultralights, this has less center weight, but this is very similar. This is a 2013 Benchmark H. Now, the 2013 H is a little bit wider, as you can see. A little bit wider, maybe 1 or 2 millimeters. But the diameter is pretty similar, and the weight distribution is the weight's about the same. Like I said, this has the different side effects. If I had flat caps or something else in here, the center weight would be more up to par with where this is. This is also 6061 aluminum, but to me it was like, oh, this just kind of looks more like a rounded over and a little, there's a little step in here. Benchmark 2013. So, which is cool. I love this yo-yo. This is like absolutely one of my favorite one drops. I play this all the time, and it's, so for this to kind of resemble this a little bit was a big plus for me. The only con I could think of, and it's not so much a con, it's just, to me, it's sort of a like, it's probably just not, is where my skill level is that because it's so narrow, it kind of wants to turn on you a little bit, and I think the flat bearing sort of is part of that as well. If I were to stick like a center track or some other kind of like centering bearing in there, the string wouldn't rub, and the lack of having the width on the yo-yo wouldn't really, because the string would be centered, it wouldn't pull the yo-yo one way or the other. But it's not that big of a deal. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, I should probably just be better at yo-yo rather than messing around, because it's not like it just pulls. It's not like it just does it. It's really more of a like, oh, I wasn't paying attention there. I didn't do that very well. That's why it started to turn on me. So anyway, that's really my only con with it, but that's just really because it's not super wide, and I'm pretty used to playing with super wide yo-yos. So let's throw it a little bit. Let's see how that goes. And yeah, spins a real long time, and despite, if I screw up, it wants to turn, but I just threw it pretty straight there, so really no problems. It didn't, like, try to turn on me or anything here. If I can throw it straight. There we go. Like I said before when I unboxed it, this bad boy is dead smooth. One drop smooth, even. I threw it crappy, and the string's dragging along the response there, and it was still pretty much dead smooth. But yeah, this thing is super smooth, like all one drops. It's almost like, to me, one of those things where it's just like you expect a one drop to be dead smooth, and but those guys, the consistency over there. Sean is so good at at this. Sean and all those guys over there are so good that these are so consistent and just so good. Anyway, so standard one drop 10 ball flat bearing. Spins good. I've never had any problems with these, and I like them. So I know there's people who are like not super into the flat bearings, but I really like them. I like the one drop ones. I think they make them feel special. See, there's the axle in there, a little black axle, very similar to the little black axle that's in the Vanguard, and I think in the Marquis as well. So pretty customary as far as their tapped axles go. And flow groove response. Not sure if that looks like the full-sized one, not the super slim one. And I gotta say, when this doesn't have side effects, but the precision in just how this screws together is like, it's like it spins smooth and just whoosh, and then click, and it's in place. And it's, I really, there are little things like, yeah, you can get a yo-yo that plays good and does, whatever, that, maybe squeaks when you tear it apart, or it's hard to unscrew, but you can really notice the quality when you unscrew a yo-yo, where it's like, it's tight at the end, and then you unscrew it a little bit, and spins free, smooth. I mean, that's like, to me, that is like the pinnacle of quality, and that's kind of how every one drop that is tapped axle anyway. The side effects work a little differently because they're like separate, but I mean, they're awesome too. But to me, it's like, that's just, there's something about that. There's something about the precision and something about just the quality and the care that goes into making the one drop yo-yos that I really, really, really like. So as far as weight distribution is concerned on this, there's a big rim here, as you can see, and then it's pretty thin in the middle here, and then there's quite a bit of center weight too, and you can really feel that kind of going both kind of both ways. It feels like, okay, there's center weight and there's rim weight. So you get the stability of having a lot of rim weight, but then you also kind of get that fun floatiness a little bit from the big center weight. There's also, and I should have talked about this while I had it pulled apart, it kind of steps down. So you get the big rim here that's got the step, and then it goes down. It's kind of like an organic, like VH type shape here. It kind of rounds off, and then there's like another step here to kind of, I guess, to facilitate, like, if you wanted to go horizontal with it or so, like that. But it sort of just, kind of adds a little bit to that catch zone, and it really just looks good, in my opinion. Like, that looks good. That's a good looking shape right there. You know what I mean? So anyway, guys, that's it for me. This is definitely cool. Definitely glad I stepped up and got this. I buy just about everything that One Drop comes out with, and as long as it kind of tickles my fancy. There's some shapes that I just like, but this was definitely something I was excited about, and it did not disappoint. I'm very excited to have one of these in my collection. Let me know down in the comments, did you get one? What colors did you get? I'm really happy with my green. I know green was kind of a pretty common color to get, but I'm really happy with it. I think it looks good. I think it plays good, and I'm really happy to have it, and I don't regret it at all. So anyway, guys, like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments, what did you get? What do you think of this review? Do you feel the same way about it? Thanks for watching, though, guys. Cheers to you, and we'll see you next time.